Hansen, certified nutritionist. Welcome. Thanks for being with us, Nicole.
Thanks for having me.
So I know that thyroid issues are near and dear to your heart. My wife has had thyroid issues since she was a teenager. This is a big deal. We've done different stuff on how to lose weight and so on. Got to get your hormones right. And I don't know nearly as much about it as you do, because I know you've had issues too. Um, and but there's so many different types of thyroid and medicines and so many different hormones that are affected by this and that, and this goes over here a little bit and then that gets out of whack. So there's so many people that, they've had thyroid problems and they've tried this and this and then it just changes. So how do you fix it? What's some of your experience?
So thyroid is the entire reason why I went back to school. I was very sick, very, very fatigued, very overnight gained 20 pounds. And I was a personal trainer, and that didn't go over so well when you're in the gym and you all of a sudden are gaining weight rapidly. But I was running marathons, and that doesn't jive. So, but I was very, very fatigued. My hair was falling out in clumps. And I went to several different doctors, and they all told me I probably should exercise more and watch what I eat. And
calories in, calories out,
in, calories out. Yeah.
You're eating too much, fatso.
Yes. So it just really discouraged me. I went down that road for 5 years, and finally I remember sitting in my car and I was just sobbing. And I thought, why am I crying? I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to go back to school so I can fix others. And what better way than through nutrients? So I'm going to touch on, this is a huge topic. However, let me touch on the basics, because the other thing that I want people to really understand and really know is, number one, know your body, know that there's something wrong and be confident in that. And number two, maybe your doctor doesn't know how to check your thyroid. Maybe it's time to ask more questions. And I'm going to give you the narrative in what to ask and how to look into things yourself so that you go in with as much information as possible to know that the way you're feeling, they need to acknowledge that. So your thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland in your throat, and it controls so many different things. It controls your heart, it controls your muscles, your digestive function, your brain function, and your development of your bone structure. It takes care of it's like your thermometer. It takes care of your heat, your hot, your cold. That's why one of the signs and symptoms of a thyroid problem is you're always cold. I remember sitting at home with the fire going, the heater on, and I was under a blanket. And my husband was like, what in the world is happening with you? My hands were always so cold, and we couldn't figure it out. So you guys, the gland in your throat, what happens is the pituitary tells your gland to produce hormones. It produces two main hormones, T4, T3. There's lots of underneath this. Like I said, this is an enormous topic. But the two main hormones it's secreting is T4 and T3. Your T4 comes out and it activates your T3. That's what makes you lose weight, your temperature regulated, your growth of your hair, all of those kind of things. It makes, if that's off, it disrupts your sleep. It drains your adrenals. So you're very tired because your adrenal glands are really trying to help your thyroid make those hormones. So you start to have joint pain, swelling. Lots of people I talk to, they're like, out of the clear blue, my fingers felt like sausages. and had never had swelling before. Your temperature changes. You have really dry skin. And one of the things that the doctors will say is, oh, we live in Nevada. You guys, if you have an abundantly dry skin and you're lathering on lotions and stuff, number one, that's disrupting the thyroid. Number two, there could be something wrong. Your skin is a major organ. Listen to it. You're fatigued. Another big one is constipation. If you're constipated, there's something happening with your hormones. If it goes the other way, if you have constant diarrhea, there's something going on with your hormones. You have weight gain almost overnight. That is a really big sign of hypothyroidism. And there are several different conditions that we can talk about. Hypothyroidism is where your own thyroid is attacking itself. Something is happening in the body to where it's trying to protect your thyroid. So what seems like to you, it's going out of whack, but it's not. It's protecting that gland. Hyperthyroidism is where you produce too much of the hormone. So that's where you get your person who is eating nonstop during the day but can't gain a single pound. There's another reason for calorie in, calorie out doesn't work. You could have thyroid nodules. Something's happening to where you're having growth on your thyroid. That could cause both ways, hyper or hypo. A few more of the symptoms you guys need to be looking for is extreme weight loss. Overnight, you're like, where did all this go? I can't fit into anything. Heart racing. If your heart is constantly racing, you need to check your thyroid. And they've checked everything else, check your thyroid. Depression, because again, we're playing with hormones. Your thyroid is a major hormone gland. It's playing with the adrenals to where we're not producing dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, that kind of thing. You have extreme brain fog. If this is more than walking into a room and forgetting what you were coming into the room for. If you can't remember people's names, if you're really good at your job and all of a sudden you're forgetting those things, you need to check your thyroid. Another really good thing, you guys, is walk into your doctor's office and you ask for a full thyroid panel. This is really important. Most Western medicine is only going to test your TSH. If you're lucky, they're going to test your TSH with T4. That is not the whole picture. I would have never gotten an answer to my thyroid problems had I just let that go on. I did a deep dive into thyroid and went in and asked my doctor, why are you not running a full thyroid panel on me? Which is TSH, free T3, free T4, your thyroid antibodies, because that's what's going to tell you if you have Hashimoto's, which is your thyroid attacking itself, and your reverse T3. So they refused to test my reverse T3. Come to find out, it was over 25. And that it shouldn't be over 12, you guys, for a reverse T3. I'm a very A personality person, and I'm a go-getter. I am constantly going, and I am very good at burning the candle at both ends. So what does that do? It makes my reverse T3 go up because my body at some point was going, ooh, wait a minute, she's going too much. So I'm going to pull this reverse T3 over here just in case she's going to need it at some point. But that never gives it back to you. So now you have a problem. Your active hormone is not being active. It's being pulled over to the side just in case you're going to need it. So you guys go in there armed with the information you need. And if they're not going to do it, go to somebody else. When you get your labs back, you need to know how to read your labs. For many years until I was in my 40s and went back to school, I had no clue what my labs were saying. I'll give a quick rundown here of what you should have. If you have a low albumin, that could mean you have a thyroid issue. If your adrenals, through your sodium levels and your potassium levels, are elevated, that means your adrenals are a little tapped. They're like, I've been working really hard. Your kidney and your liver, your ALT and AST, if they are above 26, that could be a thyroid problem. And of course, TSH, T4, T3, and reverse T3, they need to be checked in within, I would say, within holistic levels, because those are very important. Don't wait till you're diseased and you're reaching those disease numbers with Western medical. Find out what those are and know what you're going in for. Here's another thing. You guys, if you're already having a thyroid problem and you're taking medication, I have a ton of people come into my practice and they're taking it with coffee or they're taking it with their breakfast. Don't do that. You have to take it alone and away from any food or drink other than water within an hour of each way. It's really important because that's such a sensitive hormone. It won't adhere and help you with the uptake of that.
Wow, that is a lot of great information that will help a lot of people. And I know, I knew a guy that I was doing business with, and he must have gained literally 70 pounds in a month. He looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
He had a thyroid problem. I go into his office and I'm going, you look like a cartoon. He goes, I know, it's embarrassing. I have something going on with my thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
In a month.
Yeah. I mean, when it goes wrong fast. And there are certain nutrients that help that I coach. And I can take a look at labs and show you nutrients that will help in either way, T4, T3, that kind of stuff. But a lot of the time too, especially for women, if your thyroid has gone wrong, your sex hormones have gone wrong as well, because they're all helping each other. It's a domino effect. But the problem is that you have to find where that domino first fell. What's causing it? How, then the sex hormones fell. So let's fix the thyroid. Then let's work on the sex hormones. All of those kind of things come encompass with it.
Yeah, how will it knock what's the sex binding hormone, right? Does that make it go up or down?
Your sex hormone binding globulin, if it's too high, then that could be a thyroid problem. Because what happens is you're not converting in your liver. You're not converting the T3 to T4. So where does all that take place? In the liver. So if it's not converting your T3, T4, then it's not converting your progesterone where it should be spiking. It's not bringing down your estrogen. It's keeping that high. So all of that plays a part.
Wow. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comment section. Nicole is very knowledgeable on this because she's dealt with it personally and years of struggling with it. So you guys ask questions. If you want us to do other topics with Nicole, put those in the comment section. Nicole will see those. She can respond to you, connect with you, reach out to you. So if you guys have more questions, like I said, or comments of any kind, put them in the comment section. Nicole, we really appreciate you and your knowledge and your experience. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.